Okay, it has been 1 week since I made the official announcement to my church and on Facebook and YouTube that I'm leaving Valley, and that in June, at least projected at June, that I will be leaving to go plant the church in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. And I just want to say thank you to everyone who has just shown me a lot of love and support. Sometimes I forget that I have lived a lot of different lives, like we all have, right? Like I forget high school here, college, my young adult life, and then my time at Valley. Like there have been all these different stages, all these people I've met along my journey, and it's meant a lot to me that so many people have reached out and let me know that they care for me, that they support me, that they're excited for me. Man, it's really affirming. So it's been rad. So with that, I've been thinking lately, like, man, I really want to make sure that I answer questions, that I keep people along for the journey. So I'm going to try to make sure that I'm updating people. Maybe I'll vlog just the journey between now and then, and maybe I'll vlog what it's like to even plant a church in Coeur d'Alene. Just a heads up though, for people who are on Facebook, who are trying to stay in contact with me, I honestly don't spend a lot of time on Facebook anymore. Honestly, after COVID, for me, COVID became kind of a cesspool of people screaming into the ether of their opinions, and it just wasn't very social to me anymore. And I know everyone's entitled to their opinion, to share it and stuff like that. I just don't have to see it. So I actually spend a lot more time, if I'm on social media, on Instagram. Actually, that's about it. I'm mainly on Instagram. So if you want to keep up with me there, that's where I'm at. Okay, so then there are a few questions I think people are wanting to know. And I know probably the bigger question is that people are wondering, like, how did we get here? Like, what's been the journey to go from a sense of calling to picking Idaho? And what have I been doing to prepare for that? And there is a whole thing. Like even last year in 2023, I went on vacation to Idaho just to scope some things out and to meet people and ask questions and things like that. But even prior to that, I've met people who introduced me to it. I think in my announcement I mentioned that like I went through a journey of looking at places like in Texas, in Kansas, in Oklahoma, in Maine, even Oregon, Washington. Like it's been a journey just to get to the point where I'm at right now. And I would love to put together that story to share with people. And then right now, I think what I want to do is I want to answer the question of where am I going from here? Like, or what's the focus here? Since last week, since I made that public announcement, it just feels like a whole weight has been lifted off of me. This has kind of been like a hush-hush thing, not in the sense that I've been trying to keep a secret. Anytime anyone's asked me if I'm looking to leave and to plant a church, I've been open, I've been honest about that. I just haven't made it public because we were waiting for the right time to make sure we could address that correctly and had our ducks in a row, so it just wasn't like a statement without any legs. But yeah, not a lot of people knew, and I didn't openly talk about things just because I wanted to make sure that we got the right information out there to people. But now that we have all the information that's out there, I can freely work and talk through this, and it just feels good. It felt like last week, by making that announcement, the starter gun went off, and now we're off to the races. So what's ahead of me at the moment? Well, we have the place. I have a deadline for myself. I really want to make sure I'm trying to get there by June of 2025. And if I wasn't clear about this in my announcement, June of 2025 is an arbitrary date that I just threw together back in 2020. One of the reasons why is because I'm the kind of person that if I don't have a date, I won't actually do anything. So that adds pressure, that gives me a reason to get going. That's why I picked 2025. So what that means is it could be sooner. It could be later. God could show up, completely change the plan, and I'm all for that, but this is what I'm working towards. In the immediate, I have taken some time to really sit down and think through just the things that need to happen between now and then in my journal. I do know that Valley's desire, since I showed up in 2012, was to be a sending church, a church that would raise up leaders and to send leaders out into the world to pastor, to plant, to be Christian leaders in the workforce and all these things. Like that's been the dream, that's been the vision. And it's been cool to see that in Lance, our previous pastor, and to see that heartbeat in Mike. And now I have the opportunity to be sent out at this capacity. It's been left to me to sort of put together a plan and define what it would look like for church, what it would look like for Valley to be my sending church, to support me. Not that I set the terms and Valley's going to be with 100% on board with it, but I get to put together the thoughts, the ideas, bring it to the elders, and we're going to work through that. The heading that I have right now is I'm using the SEND network, the Southern Baptist Church Planting Arm. They have a lot of great resources on defining what it means for churches to be supportive. And there's a lot of different levels of commitments, but specifically, Valley is going to be my home sending church, like the mothership, I guess. I want to get that done by this month. I have an elder meeting coming up at the end of this month, I believe. Actually, one this week, but we're reading a book on eldership. But then I think at some point in time this month, or maybe early December, because Thanksgiving's happening and our meetings are on Thursdays. But I get to define and strategize and recommend, so emphasis on recommend, what it'll look like for Valley to support me. And that's the project I'm going to work on. A part of the support is that it's really important that I become an ordained minister. And so I actually have a ordination test scheduled for the 20th of this month. That's going to be great. So that's actually been the majority of my time in the last several weeks. Last couple of months I've been working on it, but really hitting it hard in the last couple of weeks. Just make sure that I'm up on my preparation for this test. In a nutshell, it's going to be like a 3 to 4 hour test on testing my knowledge of the Bible. Like, do I know the Bible? And I'm a little nervous about that, mainly because, have you asked me back in 2012, I would have done it. Like, I graduated from Bible college in 2010, man, and that was the biggest thing on my mind. Like, I spent 4 years studying the Bible, studying youth ministry, and like I cared deeply about theology, and I still do. Hold on. But that was just like the only thing that was on my mind. But in the last 6 to 7 years, as I became like a trainer and a coach, just really embracing the idea of just being missional amongst like the health and fitness industry, I've spent the last almost decade now just working on fitness and nutrition and health certifications. So that is the majority of my brain power. And now I'm going back to make sure that I know my Bible. So I think what I'm getting at is like at this moment in time, I feel like my Bible knowledge and theology is probably at a B- level. Passable. I would argue passable. But I just want to make sure it's A tier. And that's the thing, right? That's a good thing. Like I should be brushing up on that. Like I should know my Bible. So I'm excited to go through that process and to really hone down on just making sure that my missional brain is sharp and ready to go, but also my theological brain is sharp and ready to go. So that's one of the big things coming down the pipe for me. So you can pray for me, pray for focus. Actually, after I'm done recording this, I'm going to take some time to make sure that I'm brushing up and studying and knowing what I'm doing. So there's that. And then I got to prepare to move. I've lived in this house that I'm at right now for maybe 7 years or so, 6 years or something like that, but also just out of college, I've just been accumulating a life, just building things up. I've got a lot of stuff, and not all of it should come with me. So at the moment, I have a project to, Marie Kondo? I'm downsizing dramatically, especially like the plan right now is to move with my brother and my best friend, David, and all three of our things coming together. It's too much stuff. So I need to simplify and get rid of a lot of things. So instead of doing like a garage sale, and since I have a couple months, I've actually been listing things on eBay, just getting things out there. So honestly, if you live locally, I guess not even locally, but if you have had your eye on something that I own and you're like, I want that, let me know. I would be probably willing to sell it to you. So, yeah. So that's just an update on what's going on right now. You can be praying for me on that. I know there are a lot of people out there who saying they are praying for me. Just pray for diligence right now. I wrote down 6 or 7 pretty major projects that need to happen between now and then. And I'm the kind of person that I get ideas all the time, and I don't always do well with follow through and taking care of the actions. It's my ADD brain just looking at the next thing, the next shiny thing, and just pray for focus for me. You know, and ask me how things are going, I guess. I want to communicate. I want to keep putting out some videos and making content just to keep people up to date with what's going on. So if you're friends with me on Instagram, hit me up. Let me know what you'd like to know, and I'll respond. Maybe I'll start using Facebook again. Probably not. But yeah. Anyway, thank you again to everyone who has reached out. Thank you to everyone who has been super supportive. If there's anything else that you'd like to know, let me know, because it would help me get some direction on what I should do with this vlog. All right, take care.